this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
Hi guys, and welcome to the very final Big Nerd Kids quiz. Very good afternoon to you all. Hope you're all keeping well. Like I said before, it's very, very sad for me to announce, but today is the very, very last Big Nerd Kids quiz, which is going to go out live on YouTube. The reason behind that is I've decided basically that lockdown is basically coming to an end, or it's moving into phase 3, and there's more and more things for people to do outside and to go out and have fun. And I suppose I wanted to make some changes myself going forward with the lockdown. So don't worry, instead of a live hour-long special, I'm gonna put up quiz questions, a Big Nerd Kids quiz questions online on the Facebook and Instagram pages for you guys to play every Tuesday. So always make sure to check the Instagram page, and there'll be 6 rounds just like this, except this won't be live produced. Like I said, going forward, I'm reducing the quizzes down to 3 a week, and then hopefully going to have going into the future, just have one big one every Sunday. So yes, thanks very much for joining me here today from the final one. I have to say, really, really appreciate it for all you guys taking part, and I'm glad you've really enjoyed yourselves, and I'm glad you've loved taking part in this. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to do it. But anyway, for the next hour, we're going to have 6 rounds, 6 questions each, of really good fun quiz questions for you guys to challenge yourselves today, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves. Anyway, so here we go. Here's how you play Big Nerd Kids quiz, which I'm sure I know a lot of you do know already, but just in case there's anybody new here. So very, very simply, we'll put up the kids one. Very simply, you can play with good old-fashioned pen and paper, or you can play with the Google Doc in the description below. The 6 questions, like I said, with 6 rounds each. Answer the questions as I read them out, and I'll read out the answers at the very end. Let me know how you get on, and give us a DM on the Facebook or Instagram if you want a shout out at any point in the quiz. And don't worry, for those who are not using the Google Doc, I will read out every option there is for you guys, so make sure it's all fair for you. So if you want to shout out at any point, there's all the different social media channels you can get in touch with me on. And there is Facebook and Instagram, like I said, is the best way for getting a shout out. Also, share your pics, use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz, let me know where you're playing and how you're getting on. Don't forget to like and share the YouTube channel with your friends, and subscribe, hit the little bell button to get more updates of quizzes in the future. Like I said before, Big Nerd Pub Quiz is actually for hire. Now I've actually landed my first corporate gig. I was approached by a company in England, and they want me to do a quiz for them. So yes, like I said, it's perfect activity for social distancing. It's fully customizable with bespoke questions and graphics, and it's very affordable and easy to set up. If you want more information on that, do give us an email on bignerdpubquiz@gmail.com. Don't forget, there's tons and tons. We're like way over 50 quizzes at this point, I think. There's tons of quizzes that you can take part in anytime. We did the horror movie quiz last night, though I think you guys will be a little bit young for that. Though this is Star Wars one, Star Trek, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, 90s, noughties, Disney quiz, football quizzes, Friends, and I know loads of you guys will be all stoked about this. There is the Pokemon quiz, which is going to be this Thursday, the 2nd of July. Don't worry if you can't stay up for it, you can replay it anytime you want. And there's the lineup for the rest of the month. We've got a TV quiz next Tuesday and a Lord of the Rings quiz the Thursday after. It's already been written. Well, like I said, we're going to have a general knowledge quiz every Sunday night, and that's going to be the main one. I kind of figure that's the perfect night to do it when nobody's doing anything. And we're all waiting to go back to work the next day. But yes, the general knowledge quiz will be the one every Sunday. With the specialty quizzes, the more kind of general knowledge specialty quizzes on Tuesdays, and the super specialty quizzes on Thursdays. So you can see the likes of Doctor Who, Star Trek, Pokemon, and the wrestling quizzes all on the Thursdays there. But I'm sure there's something there for everybody. And don't forget, you can tune in to my radio show every morning on the Zest FM. That's the Zest FM 80s show, the breakfast show with me, Mark Hughes, 7 a.m. till 10 every weekday morning on Zest FM. It's a fantastic station, and we're giving away some really awesome prizes on it at the moment, so do make sure you tune in. You can download the app for that. And don't forget, you can support the Big Nerd Pub Quiz and all the work that goes into making it by donating to PayPal and Patreon. Massive thank you to everyone over the last couple of weeks. It's really made this my job, and I have to say I'm eternally grateful for everyone who's been supporting me in this and making it happen. And thank you guys for watching it too. Anyway, hope you all enjoying yourself. Don't forget, I'm going to read out every option. I'm going to read all the different options in the Google link. So let's get started with the Big Nerd Kids quiz this afternoon. The final one. And the first round is all about general knowledge. So, yes, let's get straight into it. So, round one, question number one. This is actually quite a confusing one, actually. But we'll start off and see how much you know about it. So, in BBC, as we know, the British broadcaster. But what does the C stand for in BBC? So yes, British Broadcasting what? Okay, is it concern, country, corporation, or company? So BBC. What does the C stand for in BBC? Is it company, corporation, concert, or country? Country, corporation, company, or concert. Yeah, all the C's. So that's round one, question number one. Round one, question two. So where would you find this structure here? The Golden Gate Bridge. It's one of the largest suspension bridges built at the time. It was built in the 1930s. Where is this particular famous bridge? Is it Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego, or Los Angeles? Don't worry if those options are different in your answer sheet. The right answer is always going to be the right answer. But I'm looking for where, in which city would you find the Golden Gate Bridge? Maybe you'll recognize it back there. It's in the background there. Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, or San Diego? Round one, question number three. Which crisp brand is Gary Lineker the face of? And what I mean by that, what crisp brand does he promote the most? Well, he's contractually obliged to. He's that guy, mostly the sponsor of it. Oh, I'll take that. The Big Nerd horror quiz done. Put up the kids one. But what crisp brand is Gary Lineker the face of? Tato, Golden Wonder, Doritos, or Walkers? So what crisp brand is Gary Lineker the face of? Tato, Doritos, Walkers, or Golden Wonder? It's round one, question three. You'll know Gary Lineker as the presenter of Match of the Day, but he was a fine footballer. Played for the likes of Leicester, Tottenham Hotspur, and Barcelona. Famously played for England and never got booked. Considered to be one of the Mr. Nice Guys, they say. Round one, question number four, the next one. So, who played Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean films? A couple of questions about those throughout the week anyway. But who played Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean films? Orlando Bloom, Johnny Depp, Elijah Wood, or Daniel Radcliffe? I'm sure loads of you guys have seen those incredible movies there. But who played Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies? Orlando Bloom, Elijah Wood, Johnny Depp, or Daniel Radcliffe? Round 1, question 4. We're motoring away here very quickly, aren't we? Round 1, question 5. Another wee sports one here, but round 1, question 5. Which English town has football teams called United and Wednesday? It's a bit of an odd name for a football club, isn't it? But yes, they used to play in the Premier League. Not anymore. But I'm looking for Manchester, Sheffield, Bristol, or Norwich. Apparently the reason why the team is called Wednesday is because the workers at the factory used to play on a Wednesday and instead of a Saturday. But that's the reason why, a lot of football teams came out of the likes of factories or big manufacturers or certain places as well, certain clubs. Some were born out of cricket clubs, which turned into, or athletic clubs, which turned into bigger teams. But the likes of, let's say, West Ham, who's 125 years old. West Ham was Thames Ironworks before they became West Ham United. But I'm looking for which English town has football teams called United and Wednesday. In fact, VfB Wolfsburg in Germany is the Volkswagen plant. The guys who make the cars, that's their football team. And PSV Eindhoven is Philips, the TVs. That's Eindhoven in Holland is a very famous town for technology. But that's it. PSV Eindhoven, sponsored by Philips for many years. So round 1, final one. Round 1, question 6. This is like a food and drink one. But what nut is used to make marzipan? Is it Brazil nuts, cashew nuts, almonds, or peanuts? You can actually see, if you recognize your nuts there, then you will see which ones they could be. But which nut is used to make marzipan? Cashews, Brazils, almonds, or peanuts? I'm not a big fan of nuts, I have to say. I'm not too keen. And there is your roundup there for the Big Nerd Kids quiz. The first round, general knowledge round. So what does the C in BBC stand for? Number 2, where would you find the Golden Gate Bridge? 3, which crisp brand is Gary Lineker the face of? 4, who played Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean films? 5, which English town has football teams called United and Wednesday? And number 6, what nut is used to make marzipan? Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with me at any point during the quiz, let me know on the Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. But don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow all the different hashtags that we have here. Hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz, which is the main mother quiz. And we've got the Patreon links and the PayPal links down there as well. Anyway, hope you're all having a lovely afternoon. That's 1 down, 5 to go in today's Big Nerd Kids quiz. And we thought we'd do one more round about... Let's have a look at it. It's going to be about... Oh, gotta get my little stinger ready here. It's all about kids' TV. So yes, these are questions all about TV, kids' TV, new and old. And we hope you all... these are TV shows I would have watched as a kid. And probably you guys still watch too. So here we go. Classic kids' TV, both modern and new. Anyway, so here we go. Round 2, question number 1. This was a favourite of mine. I absolutely loved this show growing up. But what island is Thomas and Friends set on? Yes, the title character there. Thomas the Tank Engine in Thomas and Friends. And I remember back in the day when it used to be narrated by the drummer from the Beatles, Ringo Starr. And he would talk like this. Thomas the Tank Engine. He had a big Liverpool voice on him. I used to love it. I used to collect the trains and used to play with them. Oh, it was great fun. Had a train set and everything like that. But what island is Thomas and Friends set on? The show is named after... The show was written by a Church of England vicar, actually. The Reverend Audrey. Okay, round 2, question number 2. Who was Kermit the Frog's girlfriend? So if you're familiar with the Muppets, the famous Jim Henson creations. So round 2, question 2. Who was Kermit the Frog's girlfriend? Oh, I have to say, I forgot to actually do the different options for you. So Thomas and Friends. I always forget to do this, but is it actually set on the island of Isle of Wight, the Isle of Sodor, the Isle of Jersey, or the Isle of Dogs? And in case you're wondering, the Isle of Dogs is a real place. It's in South London. But what island is Thomas and Friends set on? Sodor, Wright, Jersey, or Doug? See, I don't do the options for the adults, but I do for you guys. Round 2, question 2. So who's Kermit the Frog's girlfriend? Is it Camilla, Miss Piggy, Janice, or Wanda? Round 2, question 2. Miss Piggy, Camilla, Janice, or Wanda? Who is Kermit the Frog's girlfriend? We'll bounce on to the next question here. So in which country is Fireman Sam set? Now you might be wondering, is it set in a country? Yes, it is. It's actually produced in a particular country. In the UK, Ireland, could be somewhere there. If you notice, they have kind of funny accents. Not to say their accents are funny. No. They have different accents. They're, not to say any accent is different. Your accent is unique and, is yours. But yes, where is Fireman Sam set? In which country is Fireman set? Is it set in Wales, Scotland, England, or Ireland? The sound Pontypandy is where it's set. And if you hear their accents, yes, it makes sense. But which country is Fireman Sam set? Wales, Scotland, England, or Ireland? Round 2, question 4. In which American city is Sesame Street? I'm a big fan of Sesame Street. I used to watch that loads when I was a kid. It was great. Detroit, Houston, Chicago, or New York? So yes, Sesame Street is produced and is set in a particular American city. Big one. But which American city is Sesame Street set in? New York, Chicago, Houston, or Detroit? Alright, that's round 2. Question number 4. Round 2, question 5. What is the name of the fast food restaurant where SpongeBob SquarePants works? I love SpongeBob. We were all big fans of SpongeBob when we were in university. We used to watch it all the time. It's great fun. It's very, very funny. Is it the Chum Bucket, the Krusty Krab, the Krabby Patty, or the Bikini Burger? So what's the name of the fast food restaurant where SpongeBob SquarePants works? The Chum Bucket, the Krusty Krab, the Krabby Patty, or the Bikini Burger? Round 2, question 5. And your final kids TV question of this afternoon. So in which TV show did the character Officer Dibble appear? Now this might be a little bit of an older one. I do think they still show it on TV now and again. I think they might have made an animated movie of a couple of years ago. But yes, let's put this way. Officer Dibble was kind of like the nemesis of these guys. When I mean nemesis, he was kind of like their bad guy. Not that he was a bad guy. They just didn't really like him. He was getting in the way of all their kind of antics. But who am I talking about here? Is it Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo, Top Cat, or the Flintstones? The classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons. But which TV show did the character Officer Dibble appear? Top Cat, Yogi Bear, Scooby-Doo, and the Flintstones. Or the Flintstones. Anyway, there is your roundup there of kids' TV questions. So to quickly go through those one more time. So number 1, what island is Thomas and Friends set on? Number 2, who was Kermit the Frog's girlfriend? 3, which country is Fireman Sam set? 4, in which American city is Sesame Street? 5, what is the name of the fast food restaurant where SpongeBob SquarePants works? And number 6, in which TV show did the character Officer Dibble appear? Alright, so that's the kids' TV round all wrapped up. Okay, so hope you're all having fun. Hope you're all enjoying yourself. Don't forget to keep in touch with me, obviously doing all the different social medias, and if you want a shout out, by all means, let me know. I will do a shout out, hopefully for you guys, at the very end of the third round, which will be a halfway point in the quiz. So thanks very much for joining us on the very last Big Nerd Kids quiz. And like I said, we're doing it for like 3 months now. Anyway, like it's been a long, long lockdown, let's put it that way, but we're getting back to normal, slowly but surely. Anyway, here we go. Round 3, and it's all about geography and flags. Yes, we've done flags before, but I kind of figured this was going to be a very interesting round. This round actually has a theme to it, and now the flags have a theme as well. The flags all share a common design, which is known as the Nordic cross. What's that? Well, you'll see them now in a second. They're all basically versions of the same particular flag of countries of Scandinavia. Scandinavia being the countries all the way up in the northern kind of hemisphere of Europe, Northern Europe. You've got Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands, including them as well. So we're going to show you those flags of those countries, but you have to match which flag to which country. Sound easy? Well, we'll see how you get on in this one. So here we go. Round 3, question number 1. So which country's flag is this here? So like I said, the Nordic cross. It's like that's the design. That's the common design that all these countries have. And they're quite friendly with each other. Well, at one point, a lot of these countries actually invaded each other or owned each other. But they were like all basically the same, Viking stock. But yes, this is actually the oldest country flag in the world, or the oldest country flag that still goes on. So like I said, I'm not going to read out the options for all of these is either Iceland, Finland, Norway, the Faroe Islands, Sweden, or Denmark. Okay, so those are your 6 options. I've put the 6 options for each one, and if you can actually work them out by process of elimination, so if this one is like, say, Norway, you make sure the number 2 is not going to be Norway, or number 3 is not. So you can actually work it out like that. So if you have a pen and paper there, kind of work it out by process of elimination. But like I said, this is the oldest country flag in the world. It's the country where Lego is from. The actual word Lego is the native country's language of play good. Lego good. It's play good or play well. Play good. Play good, I think it is, yes. Great food that they have in this country too. That's round 3, question number 1. Okay, we'll put up round 3, question 2. Again, very similar flag, different colours though. But which country's flag is this? They have a thing known as a smorgasbord, which is like what they like to. It's like a form of food. Well, it's a form of presenting different types of food. So round 3, question 2. Which country's flag is this? And again, your options: Faroe Island, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Iceland. So it's round 3, question 2. Round 3, question 4. Again, slightly different, and this country has 3 colours in its flag. But another country in Northern Europe trying to remember some facts about it. Can't. It's not a member. It's not a member of the EU. I know that. Its capital is Oslo. Maybe that'll give you a clue. It's where the Nobel Prize ceremony is held. Well, I think. Just let me double check that. Hold on. The Nobel Prize ceremony. Actually takes place in Stockholm, not Oslo. That's round 3, question 3. And let me double. I'm gonna fact check that right now because I'm just kind of like I'm pretty sure one of them happens in Oslo. Anyway, I'm dwelling too much on it. We'll go on to round 3, question 4. Again, very, 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 very similar prize. I was right. The Peace Prize happens in Oslo, but the other ones happen in Stockholm. There you go. Anyway, but this country's capital is Helsinki. And the language isn't Scandinavian at all. It's a bit different. It's actually closely more related to Hungarian. Home of the Moomins. This country is very cold. In fact, I've been there. I've been up to the very top, well, not the top of it, but I've been beyond the Arctic Circle there. It's very, very cold. Very, very dark in winter. Very bright in summer, though. Round 3, question 4. Round 3, question 5. This is a slightly trickier one now. Now we're getting into the slightly harder ones, but which country is this? Again, I can give you a clue. Its capital is Reykjavik. It's well known for such artists as Bjork, Sigur Rós. Very, very barren landscape. Very pretty, but very barren landscape of volcanoes. It sits on an active fault. So lots of earthquakes and volcanoes there. People go there for the Blue Lagoon. It's round 3, question 5. I might go to Iceland sometime. And your final one. Now this is a little bit of a tricky one. I think you've worked this one out now. Funnily enough, this country... Well, it's not to say it's not a country, but it actually is represented by... has its own... It's a part of another country. It's part of one of those countries I've just mentioned. But it's technically an autonomous territory and even has its own football confederation. So occasionally, our football teams do play these countries. Or this particular country. That's round 3, question 6. But anyway, I hope you found this one interesting. Yes. Nordic flags, Scandinavian flags. We'll go through them one more time. So the first one, there's round 3, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4. You can see they're all basically the same flag, but just different variations of it. Question 5 and question 6. It's a cool animation, that, if you think about it. Yeah. We'll go follow on through. Anyway, there's the halfway point of the quiz, and I'm sure I have a wee look at my phone here because I'm pretty sure I've got some messages to read out here because I noticed it was starting to kind of buzz and light up. Let's have a wee look now because the Facebook and the Instagram go all the way to the same place. Can we have a shout out to Sean and Neve, please? We've loved the kids quiz. Well, that's from Sean and Neve. Well, thank you so much. Like I have to say, like I said, although this is the last live one, I'm going to publish questions for you guys every week to play, so thank you so much for tuning in. Nina and Aidan from Belfast recovered from last night's horror quiz and looking forward from this one. This is from Nicholas, and I can see there he's a Liverpool fan, so he must be very happy that they won the league. Anyway, good man, thank you very much for taking part. And yes, it's been a wonderful couple of weeks doing this for you guys, and I'm glad you enjoy it and glad you do appreciate it. But like I said, it's one of those things. Moving forward, I have to consider starting moving out of lockdown and actually probably getting a proper job myself at some point. But anyway, thank you so much for supporting the Big Nerd Kids quiz and the main ones. Like I said, we've got tons and tons of new quizzes coming up. We've got the Pokemon quiz this Thursday, the 2nd of July, and it's been written by a buddy of mine who's a massive Pokemon expert, so he knows his stuff on this more than I do. Like, you know, he's helped me write this quiz, and I'm pretty sure you guys will have a very good crack at running it. And we've got the July line up there as well, so there's plenty of stuff there to take your fancy. If you're into your wrestling or into your games or into Star Trek or Doctor Who or Lord of the Rings, definitely try to take part in one of these. Like I said, all the quizzes are up on YouTube, so you can replay them at any time at youtube.com/BigNerdPubQuiz on this very channel. Alright, so waste no time, we're going to move on to the next round, and it's a history round, and I've decided to go for a very classic style of history round today. It's all about the big thing that matters in history. It's dates. It's the one thing you all have to remember when it comes to history. I don't know, I always found... people hate doing it, but I absolutely love history. It was one of my favourite subjects at school, and I have a real knack for kind of learning dates because I don't know why. It's one of those things. I'm a massive nerd. Anyway, so I'm going to show you 6 historical events, 6 very famous historical events, and you just have to figure out which year they took place in. Very simple, straightforward. I'll give you all 4 options like I do for every other question. But round 4, question number 1, we'll kick off here with the Battle of Hastings. A nice easy one. Everyone knows the date of this. Is it 1488, 1066, 1122, or 1233? The Battle of Hastings, a decisive battle which established Norman rule. Now, who were the Normans? The Normans were actually from France. But the actual word Norman comes from Norseman. The Norsemen were actually Vikings, Viking raiders who were constantly raiding France so much that the King of France was just like, listen, tell you what, we'll give you a big chunk of land if you just stop raiding us all the time. And they were like, okay, fine. And that's what's called Normandy. So Normandy is where the Normans came from, and they invaded Britain in this particular year to establish their line of kings in the country. But which year did the Battle of Hastings take place in? And Hastings, interestingly enough, is on the south coast of England. So you can see how easy it was for the Normans to cross the channel there. So that's round 4, question number 1. So I'm looking at the dates: 1488, 1066, 1122, or 1233. Your next one, the World War II ends. So which year did World War II finally come to an end? You can see people there celebrating VE Day, the victory over the German Nazi regime that were finally defeated by the Russians and the Americans and the British and the French as they invaded Europe. But which year did World War II end? 1944, 45, 46, or 47? So round 4, question 2. So when did World War II end? Which year did World War II end? Round 4, question number 3. So you're looking at the first man in space. The very first man in space. This is Yuri Gagarin. He was a Soviet-Russian cosmonaut. They don't call them astronauts in Russia, they call them cosmonauts. And he was the very first man to go into space aboard Vostok 1 in April of this particular year. I'm not going to give you the year though, but you have to guess. That's your job, you have to guess it. Is it 1960, 1959, 1961, or 1962? Caught the Americans by surprise how good Russian rocket technology was. They'd put the first satellite into space in 1957. Also in the same year, they put the first dog in space. But the first man to go into space and come back, what year did that happen? 59, 60, 61, or 62? Round 4, question 4. Hong Kong handed back to China. So Hong Kong used to be under British rule up until this particular year. I was going to say the year. I nearly do that all the time. Because the Chinese at the time actually signed a lease. Britain could only rule it for 100 years. So when that 100-year lease ran out, they had to give it back to China. Now the Chinese, at the point, they've actually made Hong Kong a protectorate, or kind of like a self-autonomous region. It's like a special economic region. But there's currently a lot of trouble there in terms of the people of Hong Kong seeking democratic rights from the Chinese government themselves. So there's a lot of protests happening there in Hong Kong at the moment. But what year was Hong Kong handed back to China? And that was the ceremony there. Last governor was Chris Patton. So round 4, question 5. So round 4, question 5. When did World War I begin? So when were the hostilities between the great powers of Western Europe? When did that begin? Round 4, question 5. Oh, your options for the previous one. I didn't give you your options for the previous one. I'll just give you those quickly. 95, 96, 97, or 98. You can see it's a recent photograph. But yes, when was Hong Kong handed back to China? 95, 6, 97, or 98? World War I begins... Round 4, question 5. Is it 1912, 1914, 1916, or 1919? And interestingly, recently I actually found out that I had my great-grandfather and great-uncles all fought in World War I. And one of them, my great-grandfather, was actually shot twice by Germans. And survived. That's the reason why I'm here. Kind of blew our minds when we found out about that the other week. Round 4, question 5. World War I begins. And the final one. Now this is a slightly trickier one. I thought I'd give you a very challenging one here. But the Magna Carta was the first document limiting the powers of the King of England was signed. Now this was a very, very historic moment. What year did this happen in? 1515, 1461, 1215, or 1313? But what is the Magna Carta? The Magna Carta is Latin for the Great Charter. And it was a document that gives certain rights to the English people. So King John, who was there at the time, he had to agree to sign it. And basically it says that the king has to follow the law. He couldn't just rule as he wanted to. So yeah, it's considered to be guaranteed rights of the barons and guaranteed rights of property. But yes, it's considered to be the first step in the creation of a constitution. So it's a very important document, very old, of course. But what year was it signed by King John? Was it 1461, 1515, 1215, or 1313? No, that was pretty tricky. So there's your roundup there. So the Battle of Hastings, which year did the Battle of Hastings take place? That's a fairly easy one, I think. World War II ends. Kind of easy. First man in space, a little bit more difficult. Hong Kong hand back to China. Yeah. World War I begins, and Magna Carta, first document limiting the powers of the King of England, was signed. And right, that's it. That's your history round done. I hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Hope you're all staying safe. And like I said, we've got 2 more rounds to go, and that'll bring us roughly up to about 10 to 3. Okay, so anyways, we're moving on to the next round. Round 5, as you know, if you've always played this week in, week out, and it's one of my favorites, as you can tell, is a sports round. So here we go. Your sports questions for today. And like I said, I'm a big sports fan. I love going to games, and I'm really happy that football is back. Are you? I am. I'm absolutely ecstatic about it. And I don't know. Well done to Liverpool for winning the league. It's been a long time, a very, very long time. Anyway, so round 5, question number 1. In the game of snooker, how many red balls are there on the table at the beginning of the game? Is it 15, 12, 10, or 9? So in the game of snooker, the option, each ball on the snooker table is valued by points. Reds are equal 1. The black is 7. Pink is 6, blue is 5, brown is 4, green is 3, and the yellow is 2. So the option is to actually, you have to pot the reds. You have to go alternate between red color, red color, red color, red color, and then pot the balls in order: yellow, green, brown, blue, pink, black, and accumulate as many points as you can. That's how snooker is played. But how many red balls are on a snooker table at the beginning of a game? Is it 9, 10, 12, or 15? Round 5, question 2. Which flag is waved in motor racing to show the winner? That should actually read for the options here. What color is it? Right? So which color is the flag waved in motor racing to show the winner at the very, very end of the Formula 1? Is it red, black and white, yellow, or blue? So, round 5, question 2. Which flag is waved in motor racing to show the winner? Red, black or white, yellow or blue? Round 5, question 3. So how many players are there on an ice hockey team? So how many players are there on an ice hockey team? 6, 5, 7 or 10? So round 5, question 3. How many players are there on an ice hockey team? 6, 10, 7 or 5? So round 5, question 4. I know a lot of you guys follow this sport too, but how long does a game of rugby union last? So how long does a game of rugby union last from start to end? In fact, when it hits the certain point at the end of the game, clock goes red, and the game continues. It's not like injury time like in football, where they account for substitutions and injuries. Or stoppage time, as they call it. No. In rugby, once it hits the end game, once the clock goes red, that's it. Game is over until the ball goes dead. The referee calls the game end of the game. So how long is a game of rugby union. Now, I know there's two different codes of rugby. Rugby league and rugby union. But I'm talking about rugby union. The one that everyone watches. Is it 70 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, or 85 minutes? How long does a game of rugby union last? As you see, I'm wearing a rugby union jersey. This is the Japan jersey. And I went to see them play in Japan for the World Cup. So this is where I got this. It's really cool, isn't it? But yeah, they beat Ireland. Less talking about that, the better. Anyway, round 5, question 5. So what colour is the centre of the target in archery? So you know when you have got a bow and arrow and you see it at competitive Olympics. I've actually tried it out before. It's actually quite fun. But what colour is the centre of the target, you know, in archery? Is it black, blue, red, or gold? So round 5, question 5. What colour is the centre target in archery, where you get the most points? Round 5, question number 5. And your final sports question before we move on to our final round this afternoon. So another one about scoring, but round 5, question 6. In the game of darts, what's the highest possible score you can get using 3 darts? You'll probably know this one, because if you ever see it on the TV, it's what the announcer likes to go, you know, when it's scored. So the whole point of darts, is it a 3-5-1? You start off with 351 points and you have to get all the way down to 0. It's called checking out. And you've got to do as many, you've got to check out on a double. So yes, you know the dartboard, it's all... it might surprise you, the bullseye is not the highest number of points you can get on a darts board. It's not. It's actually the treble 20. So that might give you a clue about how many points if you multiply that together. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so, in the game of darts, what's the highest possible score using 3 darts? It's very popular these days. 150, 180, 190, or 200? So what, in the game of darts, what's the highest possible score you can get in just one play? Okay? Known as a 9-darter. If you check out with 9 darts... It's one of like the best things in snooker or in darts. It's up there with the 147 in snooker. Checking out with 9 darts. But what's the highest possible you can get there in that? So 180, 190, 150, or 200. And there's your round up there. So in the game of snooker, how many red balls are there on the table at the beginning of the game? 2. What colour of flag is waved in motor racing to show the winner? 3. How many players are there in an ice hockey team? 4. How long does the game of rugby union last? 5. What colour is the centre target in archery? And 6. In the game of darts, what's the highest possible score using 3 darts? Alright, so we're coming on to the very final round of the very last Big Nerd Kids quiz. I thought I'd be doing something about ones you guys will all know and be very, very familiar with. The final round is all about fairy tales. So yes, this is a kind of a children's literature round here for you guys. So we'll start off round 6, final round today. And like I said before, at the very end, once you hit submit on the Google Doc, stick about to hear the answers at the very end. So here we go, round 6, question number 1. In the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, how did the evil witch poison Snow White? Round 6, question 1. In the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, how did the evil witch poison Snow White? That's round 6, question number 1. Round 6, question 2. In which popular story would you find a talking cricket? It's made into a very famous Disney movie. Oh yeah, go back to that one here. I'll give you options for that final one. Okay, so for which evil, the evil witch in Snow White, she uses something to poison Snow White with. But what did she use? A banana, a pear, an apple, or an avocado? I think hipster Snow White would go for the last one. Anyway, round 6, question 2. In which popular story would you find a talking cricket? Would it be Cinderella, Briar Rose, Pinocchio, or Peter Pan? Very, very famous talking cricket. Jiminy Cricket. Conscience. Yes, voiced by Cliff Edwards, who was a famous ukulele player back in the 1940s. Anyway, round 6, question 2. Which popular story would you find a talking cricket? Briar Rose, Cinderella, Pinocchio, or Peter Pan? Round 6, question 3. The character of Maleficent appears in which fairy tale? Snow White, Thumbelina, Red Rose, or Sleeping Beauty? So round 6 questions. I should stop playing with this. This thing here, because it's made of rubber and I can't stop touching it because it's just very strange. Anyway, round 6, question 3. The character of Maleficent appears in which fairy tale? It's round 6, question 3. Sleeping Beauty, Red Rose, Thumbelina, or Snow White? Round 6, question 4. In the story Jack and the Beanstalk, which of these items is not an item that Jack stole from the giant? Is it a bag of gold, a harp, a sword, or a goose? So don't rack your brain for that one. So in Jack and the Beanstalk, which of these items is not an item that Jack stole from the giant? A harp, a sword, a goose, or a bag of gold? It's round 6, question 4. Your penultimate question of the day. Little Red Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs, and the Frog Prince were 3 of many stories collected and written by which German authors? Hans Christian Andersen, Walt Disney, Enid Blyton, or the Brothers Grimm? I think that's fairly evident in terms of the plurality or of the answer. But Little Red Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs, Frog Prince were all stories collected and written by which German authors? Walt Disney, Hans Christian Andersen, Enid Blyton, or the Brothers Grimm? And your final question of the very, very last Big Nerd Kids quiz. In the tale of Rumpelstiltskin, if you can remember that one, what does the miller's daughter do? So just remember, he was like, apparently you weren't meant to know his name, and if you said his name, he'd disappear. But Rumpelstiltskin, what does the miller's daughter do? Dance, spin straw into gold, catch the golden goose, or sing? So yes, another one of those classic Germanic fairy tales. In the tale of Rumpelstiltskin, what does the miller's daughter do? Sing, spin straw into gold, dance, or catch the golden goose? And that is your very final question there. And don't forget to hit submit. So we'll go over those one more time. In the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, how did the evil witch poison Snow White? Number 2, which popular story would you find a talking cricket? Number 3, the character of Maleficent appears in which fairy tale? Number 4, in the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, which of these items is not an item that Jack stole from the giant? Was it a bag of gold, a harp, a sword, or a goose? Little Red Riding Hood, Three Little Pigs, the Frog Prince were all stories collected and written by which German authors? And finally, in the tale of Rumpelstiltskin, what does the miller's daughter do? Alright, so thank you very much for everyone for taking part in the Big Nerd Kids quiz. Like I said, it's been an absolute honour for me to do this for you guys. Really, really appreciate you guys taking part and playing every week in, week out. But like I said before, we're easing out of lockdown, and I'm going to reduce the amount of times I do these quizzes. So I thought, it takes a lot of time to put this together, and I really do appreciate for everyone who supported me through Patreon and PayPal. It really makes a difference, and it's like all these graphics and all these bits and bobs, like it's very, very time consuming, but I really do, I've loved the fact I've done it for you guys, and I'm going to keep putting questions up like those every week on the Facebook and the Instagram for you guys to take part on. So don't worry, if you're stuck for something to do, there will be questions, and I will post those up online. I just won't be doing them live like this. Anyway, thank you very much. Moving on, and we're going to give you the answers for today's Big Nerd Kids quiz. Let's see how you got on. And if you're all marking each other's, give yourself 1 point for each. Like we said, very self-evident. But anyway, so British Broadcasting Corporation. It's not company. I used to always think it was company, but it's not. It's British Broadcasting Corporation. That's the first one. San Francisco is the home of the Golden Gate Bridge. Gary Lineker is the face of Walker's Crisps. Johnny Depp played Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Sheffield is where teams of United and Sheffield Wednesday, you would have got that. And almonds make up marzipan. Round 2 answers. Thomas the Tank Engine is set in the Isle of Sodor. Miss Piggy is Kermit's girlfriend. Wales is where Fireman Sam is set. Sesame Street is also set in New York. Krusty Krab is where SpongeBob SquarePants works, and Top Cat is where Officer Dibble appears. So those flags, I wonder how he's got on with that one. But Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands. I'll show you them again so you just remember them. So that was Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Iceland, and the Faroe Islands. Very, very remote islands. Your dates there. So 1066 was the Battle of Hastings. 1945, the end of World War II. 1961, the first man in space. April 1961. 97 is when Hong Kong was handed back from the British to China. 1914 was the beginning of World War I. And 1215 was the signing of the Magna Carta. Your sports ones, your final sports ones here. 15 reds are on the table and at the start of snooker. It's a checkered flag, black and white checkered flag. 6 hockey players play on the team. 80 minutes is how long a rugby union game lasts. Gold is the colour at the centre of an archery target, and 180 is the highest points you can get in darts with 3 darts. And your very, very, very final rounds there. Apple was the instrument, the poisonous apple that used against Snow White by the evil witch. Pinocchio was the tale with the talking cricket. Sleeping Beauty is the character Maleficent. I can never pronounce her name. Maleficent. Sword is the item not taken by Jack. He actually uses an axe. The Brothers Grimm wrote all those amazing fairy tales, and the daughter in Rumpelstiltskin spins straw into gold. Thank you so. Take that one down. That's not the one I want. That's. Give you a fright there. Anyway, the Big Nerd Kids Quiz, thank you so much for supporting me over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. Like I said, you can replay any of the quizzes, any of the kids quizzes at any time. And like I said, there's tons and tons of more speciality quizzes for you guys to play out there. I always make our quizzes that I do at 8 o'clock as family friendly as I can, bar the horror quiz, which is probably the only non-family friendly one I've done. But like I said, all the quizzes are totally family friendly for you guys to play at any time that you want. And so you've got, that was it there. We've got the Pokemon quiz coming up this week. So if you're big Pokemon fans, I know it's on pretty late at 8 o'clock on Thursday the 2nd of July. But like I said, you can play them anytime that you want. There's the lineup there for the rest of the month. Hope you do stay in touch. Again, I really should take those down. Hope you do stay in touch, and yes, follow us all on all the different social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And like I said, it's been an amazing couple of weeks doing this for you guys. A really absolute pleasure. And like I said, I'll keep putting kids questions up for you guys on the Big Nerd Pub Quiz Facebook and Instagram, so you can always take part and play. Anyway, thanks again for joining me for the last time. And I will see you hopefully soon. And stay in touch. Have a good one. Stay safe. Hopefully see you all again for the Big Nerd Pokemon Quiz. So take care of yourselves. Stay good. And have a great rest of your week. Best of luck. I've been Mark Hughes. And this has been the Big Nerd Kids Quiz.